And good morning, Boquete. Good morning, Cherokee. Good morning. Oh, let's see. We're everywhere today. We are, Volcan, Cerro Punta, Bocas del Toro. Well, just everywhere. And I want to say a special hello to Bolivar, our engineer here in Boquete, and Veronica down in David. You're listening to Boquete Now Talk Radio on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM, sponsored by ACCB and Big Daddy's Grow. We got a full house today. Every seat is full. We got Tamera Balkenhol. I got that right? And Joe Hart from ACCB. And, of course, we have Chris Young here. And if you don't know Chris Young, you probably haven't eaten anywhere in Boquete. But just in case you've been living under a rock, tap out Big Daddy's and Mesa Azul. And we are here. Today is ACCB Day. It's the last Friday of the month, and most of us have our ACCB shirts on. But Chris beats everyone out because Taco Bell. Just Taco Bell. That's all I got to say is Taco Bell. So there you go. Everybody, welcome to the show. Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Tam.
Thank you.
And Chris.
Morning.
So, we're going to start off with the big question. It's just the big question on everybody's mind. What is ACCB? So, Joe, take it away.
That is the biggest question,
It
even
is.
amongst our members that have been members for a long time. I
What are
don't
we?
understand it myself.
It's like
But
jazz.
ACCB stands for the Association of Community Charities of Boquete. Now, don't ask anybody with one of these blue shirts with ACCB logo on it. Just ask me because you just get confused.
Yes.
Well, this all started, Lynn and I moved to Boquete about 11 years ago, and I wanted to start an association that respects the men and women in blue. I noticed they were carrying wheel guns, which we call revolvers.
Yeah.
And this was 11 years ago. So that was about 2010. They were carrying a Smith & Wesson that I carried when I first started in law enforcement in, let me see if I can remember.
1860.
That far back.
When 1860?
No, it was in the 1900s. 1967.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's what I carried, and that's what they were carrying then. Now, of course, they're carrying Glocks, and they're really up to date. But that's why we started ACCB. We wanted to help the less fortunate, and there's plenty of them for us to help. Our ACCB is a nonprofit association, and our witness statement is to donate, and we do, thousands of dollars to charities as well as helping the police and fire. I'm a retired cop, as I mentioned, 30 years ago, and so I've got a soft spot for the men in blue.
Sure. Yeah.
We were initially given directly to the needy because it made us feel good that people would say, "Oh, thank you." But the truth is, we really don't know who the needy is. So, we thought we knew the needy, but now we give the funds to establish charities. And some of the charities we support, and there's many of them, Handicap Society, Neutral Hogar, and others.
Yeah.
As we speak this very moment, Linda, my bride of 50 years and, let me see,
About 2 weeks, 50
and
years.
8 days, but who's counting? We have 11 ACC Boquete members and a couple youngsters as translators, all packed in one of them white coaster buses loaded with beans and rice, bags of beans and rice, cases of beans and rice.
A lot of beans and rice.
Yeah. And driving up the road as far as one can to the comarca. We're also giving out candy, new clothing, and school supplies in 750 gift bags.
Wow.
And when Linda tells me and the other members tell me when they pull up, the kids come flying out. So it makes everybody feel good. And I might mention that we, in the ACC Boquete, we always buy stuff from Boquete merchants. We weren't doing that at the beginning. We were trying to get our biggest bang for the buck.
Yeah.
But we got to support our local
Sure.
merchants.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it local.
It's sometimes, well, it's a lot closer, but you can't find a lot of stuff. But unless we absolutely can't find it, we go to DeVete. We were in the Gala Party Store, which is on the side street of Multibank, and they give us a big discount for 750 of these really cute, colorful,
Wow.
festive bags with handles for the needy kids.
Nice.
And other people like the knitters and quilters have worn their fingers to the bone with many handmade clothing items, little hats and blankets, and I mean it's not just us. We're doing it for a lot of other charities.
Well, you guys have been working in conjunction with several of these, particularly knitters and the quilters. We've had them on the show here, and they have let us know that they work with the ACCB often.
Yeah, they're kind of a quiet group.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just really just hours and hours donated making this stuff. Wow. And Dr. Daniel Daves, everybody knows him. He's also given us bottles of his high energy food supplements that'll go to each family.
Yeah.
One of the other things that it's why we started ACC Boquete is to help the police.
Sure. Yeah.
We spend a lot of money we give a lot of money out on police repair for their trucks. And just yesterday, a DOT, Department of Transportation pickup truck pulls in front of my house and 4 cops get out. And
normally you'd worry about something like that.
My neighbors must think, when my neighbors drive by, I raise my hands up in the air. I really do. Because things are quiet and the rumors are kind of slow.
No bochinche and boquete.
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyway, they need their police truck back because it's out of service and they need. They told me $85 for parts, so I told them tomorrow when they pick me up, I get to ride in the DOT truck. Usually it's a police truck, and we went down to DeVete where they have an account for parts, and that $85 bill that they first told me turned into $240. So that was a surprise. But in the past, we've given over $600 to put a police truck back on the road, and people don't realize that, but it's not really an altruistic purpose. I want police trucks on the road, and I want visibility. I want the popo around.
Well, speaking of by the way, we need to give a shout out and hello to Linda Hart, because she just texted me, and they're all on the bus listening to the show. So, hey, everybody on the bus.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Hey, pay attention, driver. Anyway.
That's 14 people.
That's 14 people.
I just
wow, that's cool. When you were first on the show, ACCB, obviously, before we started with the ACCB Day, we've had you guys on the show a lot. And on the first time that you were on the show, you had given us a rundown of the history of the checkpoint. And I'm wondering if you would be willing to just do a little, tell us a little bit about what the ACCB has done, down there, because a lot of people don't understand where that checkpoint came from. It didn't just pop up out of nowhere, right? It wasn't there up until maybe 10 years ago, something like that.
Well, it was temporary. It was spotty. It'd be there, and then it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, if you can give us a little background on that.
Well, thanks for the heads up, by the way.
Yeah, hey, no problem. just doing my job. Yeah. I figured you had all this memorized by now.
Yeah, you see me turn white there. Well, I remember going through there, and they had tanks, and they were spraying the cars for whatever reason, for germs, to stop the germs from being driven into Boquete. But since then, we were going to build a house for them, and unbeknownst to us, the city built a house, and so it was unfurnished. It's got that little trailer there. It's got a cute little cell in it, The cell is about the width of the building and about
Like a jail
24
cell.
24 inches wide. It's a cell.
Really?
If they check your ID and you don't have papers or, you're wanted or whatever, they take you in a little house and put you in a cell. It's a cute little thing.
You remember the refrigerator? You wanted to get them a refrigerator for their cold drinks, and we raised the money and got it. And one night I'm coming through the checkpoint and I'm talking to the cop. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, good. I'm like, hey, how's that new refrigerator working out for you? They're like, well, it's great, but we don't have electricity in our little trailer, so we haven't been able to use it yet.
It's a nice little cabinet.
They never told us that.
They didn't tell us that, but that was funny.
But anyway, we bought a stove for the police department. I went there in the kitchen one time, and they have a one burner.
Little hot plate.
Yeah, well, it's no, it's not electric. It's gas. Had a little tubed, little 16-pound tank, and when I don't know if you understand this, but let's say there's 30 police in Boquete, 15 of them are off. Half of them are in the rack sleeping, and the other half are working.
Yeah.
So that goes on for like 4 days or 5 days, whatever the schedule is now. And so the guys that are sleeping get out of the rack, put on their uniform, and the guys that were working, they jump in a warm rack, which doesn't sound appetizing to me. Appealing.
Yeah.
And then the ones, they do their 4 or 5 day stint. And, they live there, so the kitchen cooks for all these people. And one of the guys just starts making beans out of this one burner pot. So I says, holy cow. So we bought him a stove, and then we bought him a washing machine because, they live there.
Yeah. So I didn't know they lived there.
Yeah. I mean, and when we got here, they just got a raise. They were making, I think, $700 a month when we got here.
Oh, wow.
And before that, it was even less. So, I mean, and, like if Al's turned to sleep and I'm working and something happens, they say, Al, get on your uniform. We've got a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So Al, gets up in the middle of the night and goes whatever the problem is, and
Stumbles.
Yeah,
Some
stumbles
people are like
around.
it. Yeah. Wow. Well, I tell you, it coming up the main road into town. For me anyway. I wasn't a police officer, but I was in a fire department up in New York. And,
Hose dragger.
Yeah. Well, I've been called worse. But it's a family show. It's kind of comforting, to me anyway, knowing that there's someone there. And I know sometimes they're not there. Sometimes when it's raining out, you just drive through. But just having the presence of them on the way into town, and now they built that new little guardhouse there.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good for them.
Yeah.
Most of us are real happy, that's there.
Why are most of us happy? Why aren't all of us happy?
Well, this is Boquete. You're always going to have people complaining about everything.
Okay.
It's just the way it goes, But someone did ask an interesting question, though. Why wasn't it put on the north side of the Caldera Road?
It's more than interesting. That is the question.
Let me get this can of worms here. Hang on a minute.
Wow. I mean, that's really...
it's just there's a back way to avoid all that if you want to deal with the potholes and all that.
No, they paved it. It's nice.
See that
No more
checkpoint? Like if they had an
I'm
armed
kidding.
robbery here or some dastardly event, they could just call the checkpoint and say, "Be on the lookout for a red Toyota or something."
A white Prado.
Yeah, right. Well, white product.
White four-door car. Keep an eye out for that.
Somebody with a lot of money. And I guess they could, watch that people trying to make a left turn to get to Balkenhol.
Caldera.
Caldera. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just, figured I'd throw that out there. People have asked me from time to time, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't build a thing. But seriously, though, what the ACCB has done just in that area alone is quite a contribution, to our little community here. So,
another thing a lot of people don't know, probably including members, is that we have a $1,500 memorial fund set aside for any first responder, ambulance, ambulance gets in an accident, and God forbid the drivers or the workers are killed. We'll give the family. We try to. We thank God we haven't done this yet, but it's something that has to be done right away. This is not something that takes a meeting. Well, let's decide, and I mean we got to be able to respond like the next day.
That's an immediate need right there.
Yeah, because it's burial expenses, and the families are going nuts. Like, well, how where are we going to get this money?
Yeah.
So we have that set aside, and thank God we haven't used it yet.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the rundown. I know that wasn't on our list, but I try to, every time you're on the show, Joe. I try to get a little information out about what's going on down there at that checkpoint, mainly because it is there to protect us. So let's shift gears a little bit here, because we're coming up onto October. You know what that means?
Yeah, Halloween.
That and Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
And I know last October, obviously because of the situation with COVID, there was no Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I tried year before last to plan Oktoberfest for last year, and they just laughed at me and said, "No, get out of here."
Yeah.
They wouldn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we missed last year, but we've had 4 Oktoberfests, and we have our next one Saturday, October 16th, from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
We're going to have live music and Papa music, and of course beer and a good German menu, and our German cook just so happens to be here to tell you
what a coincidence.
what's on the
Chris
menu.
Young happens to be sitting right here.
Wow.
Chris.
Yes, can
And
you
it's
say
just
that in
wow.
English?
Yeah. So
no German.
what funny thing, the last Oktoberfest I went to, not in Panama, because I've been to a couple of the ones here, was in North Carolina. It was in a dry county, and there was no alcohol
Me too.
Wow.
at the Oktoberfest.
In Alabama. Yes.
And
How
yeah,
interesting.
and we went there. I mean, we loaded up like 5 carloads of people. It was no one had seen an Oktoberfest
We were
in
in-
Johnson County
Yeah.
in 20 years.
Coleman,
Everybody,
Alabama.
all excited.
Dry.
And there's a big sign, no alcohol.
There was
I'm
no
like,
sign.
It's an Oktoberfest.
My husband said, "Where's the beer?" They looked at him.
Next county.
Well,
Yeah.
we were
This
in
is a dry
India.
county, sir.
We were in India.
Wow.
We went to McDonald's, Linda and I, and they don't serve hamburgers.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
in
the-
India. Yeah, that would
In
make sense.
India.
Yeah,
India,
that makes
not
sense.
Indiana, India.
India.
They just serve chicken sandwiches and fish. I mean, why open a McDonald's hamburger joint in India and not serve hamburgers?
Maybe they sponsored the Oktoberfest, and I don't know. But there was a lot of really good food, and this is where we segue into Master Chef, Michelin star himself.
Oh, please.
Chris Young. Hey, what's on the menu? What's
Couple
on the
things.
board
Couple
with
things.
that?
Well, the main dish will be served with schnitzel, sauerkraut, some potatoes, kind of just a pretty classic German dish.
Nice.
We're gonna make the sauerkraut, which is super
Awesome.
easy, by the way.
It's like wet
Yeah.
cabbage.
Yeah. And then there's battle sausage.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna see whose sausage you like more, Richard's or mine.
Ooh.
And it'll be that would be sugar and spice versus tap out.
That seems
And-
to be a recurring thing around here. You know
know,
ribs,
that's
chicken wings. No, it's
He and I
sausage.
love
Yeah.
food fights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there'll be you can try both of our sausages, and you can vote if you want. Actually, we were talking about maybe for an X amount of dollars, you could be one of the judges, and you would get treated a little differently, and you wouldn't know whose sausage you were putting in your mouth.
Like a double blind taste test.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Nice.
And so, and then there would be like A and B, and then you vote on A or B, and you can stand there in front of. So it'll be he and I, and then our teams as well. We'll take turns, and then Anyway, so that was something we were talking about. If you're interested and you're listening,
Oh, cool.
hit me up. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be like a mini version of the previous events, as
Sure.
due to the distancing. However, if you have, probably everyone is starting to get the word out that they're increasing the capacity of places.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It's kind of fuzzy right now on what they're.
Yeah.
I've gotten reports in. We're going to go from the ones that are at 25% are going to go to 50%. The ones that are 50% are going to go to 75% and 80. Yeah, I've gotten, but yeah, it's definitely going to increase.
Mince has been out and inspected us, and we're now
Well, of course, man.
80%.
Shining colors.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Flying color,
we're good to go.
Yeah. Well, Richard's going to have to step up his game because
He always beats me. You know that.
Well, yeah, but
right?
you kicked his butt on the fishing contest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you did.
I'm glad to beat him in something
You,
because
you,
he
you
always
caught a bigger. Your amberjack was way bigger than his. So Richard, man.
Oh, you listening, Richard? Boom.
I have a suggestion, Chris. Can we add red cabbage to them?
Okay.
Asta?
I was thinking. I heard. I don't know much about German food, but the sauerkraut can actually be made with red cabbage, right? Is it good? Is that a common
It's
thing?
wonderful. It is a common thing, and
Okay.
it's a nice twist on an old.
Cool. Let's do
standby.
it. Let's do
It's
it.
necessary.
Is there a taste difference
And-
between?
Oh, definitely.
Because I don't eat
It's-
cabbage. I just don't. It's nobody wants to be
It's
around
so
me.
good, just
right after,
grilled
you know.
and crunchy.
I'm a meat
It
guy.
complements.
I will be eating
You know,
all
the
of the
white
schnitzel.
cabbage is more vinegary or more
Okay.
basic, and the red cabbage is
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
We can do that.
So that's
Done.
awesome.
Nice.
Thank
Done.
you.
Done.
Change a little bit of change.
Little
Yeah.
bit of change.
I'm personally
Nice.
looking forward to Oktoberfest this year.
Me too.
I was, but unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town on the 16th.
I'll
be in Mexico.
I hope I'm not stealing anybody's thunder. I didn't see it in the notes, but the band that's playing is a very, very well-known band, Os Amarantes.
Oh yeah,
They're huge,
Seriously,
huge
wow.
here. And
That's cool.
So they are the headliner for the event.
Wow.
So
They're really, really good.
You don't want to miss that.
No, you definitely don't want to miss that. They're fantastic.
They were like really
Good.
big in the 90s. Like
I plan to be there.
imagine like I don't know, like the Pearl Jam of Panama, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Is that a good
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
Oliver? Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And who's do we know who the other band is?
No, there's going to be an opener, and then there'll be a DJ to kind of
Segway things.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my DJ word of the day. Segway.
Thank you.
Segway. Brought to you by
Great
the
word.
letter S. No. That's very cool. So, all right, if y'all can make it out there, you require tickets. Is there an entrance fee, or you just walk in? How does that all work? Anybody?
Yeah. Stay tuned. More
Stay tuned.
information.
More information
More
coming
to
at
come.
you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure that there will be posts on social media in the usual places as
all
the
the
date-
email groups, Facebook
everything,
groups,
everyone
all
will
that
get
stuff. Yeah.
So I'm looking at, and Joe was kind enough to provide us with an outline for today's show, which is always appreciated, especially when we have this many people on and there's a lot of different things going on. So I turn the page and I look and I see Demon Spirits, and immediately I thought of college. I'm pretty sure that's probably got nothing to do with it. So we got Demon Spirits or Nectar of the Kings. So what's that all about?
Well, November 18th, which is a Thursday, 5 o'clock at the Tap Room, Jim Wasson, who's the owner and creator of the world-famous Panama Red,
World famous.
and Panamante, which is their 25-year-old age rum, is going to have not so much a taste test, but a talk about rum. Now,
Awesome.
I didn't know this, but to sell 25-year-old rum, every drop in the bottle has to be 25 years old.
No.
Ooh.
That's not exactly true.
That's what he said.
So in the Scotch world and the bourbon world, it's highly, highly regulated. It's very accurate. Now in the rum world, it's not regulated. So you can get what's called a Solera rum, which isn't. It's like basically ethanol that's colored and spiced up. That's not an aged rum, but they can put it. If there's one drop of, say, 7 year, they can call it 7 year. This Panamonte, I'm sorry to jump in here, Joe, but the Panamonte actually is 100% 25 years old.
Wow.
Which is very rare for rums because it's not necessary. You could
Right.
put a little bit in there and call it 25 years.
Sure.
Whereas like Scotch and in these bourbons,
Yeah.
it's has
got
to be
to be,
100%.
yeah.
Where the rum world, they had better lobbyists than the Scotch.
I guess
world.
so. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry to jump in there, but
No problem.
it's actually really interesting that it's
doing
100%
that.
25
Wow.
years old.
Wow.
Sorry, my bad.
You're good, man. That's what we're all here for, right?
Yeah, something I never done in my life, and I've tipped a couple bottles, but is have their rum on the rocks. Now, when in my drinking age era, I never heard of drinking rum on the rocks. But this rum is so good that Panama Red and Panamonte can go on the rocks. And something most people don't know that these local favorites have won awards. The Panama Red, the double gold in Madrid at the World Spirits in San Francisco, and for the Panamonte Gold, it's the famous 25-year-old age rum. So it is the world famous Panama rums.
Yeah, and most people know Panama.
Panama Red is
Panama Red,
it's an overproofed rum. It's very good. You can buy it locally. As far as I know, the Big Daddy's, the sandwich shop, Tap Out, you can buy it by the bottle. And if you haven't tried the Panama Red, it's very good.
Smooth.
It's smooth.
It's very smooth.
It's
yeah.
for as high proof as it is. It's pretty smooth. Now the Panamonte, if you try to search this on if you look it up on Google or whatever,
Yeah.
you'll find that it's a rum that's so special. It's ranked like top rum in the world, and it's so special. It's one of those things like you got to know a guy
Yeah.
to get it.
Yeah.
It's not just like
can't just
sold at
walk in
Walmart.
and-
It's not
yeah,
like that. It's
yeah.
like you have to know
Limited
somebody who
edition,
knows
yeah.
somebody.
Wow.
And actually, Jim was telling us yesterday that the TV show Dexter,
Yeah.
the serial killer that kills serial killers.
Yeah. Cool show, by the way.
There's a book. Is that what he's saying? There's books about it. Do you remember this part?
No, I don't.
Okay, so he was saying at the end of this book, the author of what in the series, they have book series, I guess,
Yeah.
and at the end, one of the characters gives another character a bottle of Panamonte rum,
Panamonte rum.
which is super cool for
Yeah.
for
nice,
Jim's
nice
brands.
little shout out there.
Yeah, that's
That's
that's a
for
big
sure.
deal.
Yeah. And in case
Big
you
deal.
weren't aware, whatever you hear, the tap room, that is where the theater used to be, correct?
Yeah. So we just decided to call it the Tap Room at Tap Out. There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
A lot of old names, new names. What's where?
Sure.
So anyway, that's what we're calling it for right now. The
Yeah.
Tap Room at Tap Out.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
it's a
Michael
nice-
Schwartz, for coming up with that name for
Yeah,
us.
that's a nice little setup in there. We were there for a couple of those comedy shows.
Yeah.
It's
More
funny.
of those are coming, by the way.
Oh,
Good.
really?
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
more
I don't know
improv.
if I should be happy or afraid.
I want to go.
I found I was back in the back part of that yesterday looking for something. I found all these envelopes. I'm not sure who, but it's like
The won't money is
it was
mine.
like Jeopardy. It was like
Oh, that was
answer and then the
that was from Shelley Etlin and Sarah Crocker
Okay.
did a skit. You remember on the old? Well, you might not remember, but on the old Johnny Carson show, there was this skit he did where he had this giant hat and you'd ask he'd read the answer and then someone would ask the question.
okay.
The great something or another. I Kardak the Great or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but this event at the Tap Room on November 18th is, of course, going to have a meal,
Right.
and coincidentally, Chris Young is here to talk about what's on the menu for the Demon Spirit Nectar of the King's Night.
Okay, so the meal's not defined yet, but it will be in the realm of Cuban.
Oh,
So
nice
rum, Cuban, something
Ooh,
like that.
ooh.
So it's probably going to be about $15, $20 to get in. Now,
Sure.
think about this for a sec. A shot of Panamonte rum just by itself is like $30 to $50.
Right, sure, yeah.
And you will get that entry fee will get a cocktail made from Panama Red, a tasting of basically a non-flavored rum, which here it's Secco. It's not technically a rum, but it's basically the same thing, kind of. They're both from sugarcane, and it's just so you can kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
Then you'll get on the rocks, a nice healthy pour of Panamonte,
Nice.
which, like I said, you can get that if you were to go into a restaurant. The Panamonte restaurant actually serves it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else does. I tried, and nobody would buy it. It's very expensive,
Well,
and not, you have to really appreciate rum to.
Sure.
And anyway, so
Wanna go there, yeah.
but you get a 2-ounce pour of that for such a discounted price, $15-20 includes a meal. So
Yeah.
I would. And the cool thing is, you're gonna learn. Jim will be there talking about all of these things. Some of the stuff that we probably got half of it right when it comes to what we've said so far about rum. But he'll be there to make it all, like, you'll
Makes
be like,
sense,
oh wow.
yeah,
Did you know that molasses, they used to, back in the days, he mentioned this yesterday, and I was blown away by this. They used to trade molasses for people during
For
the
people.
slave trade.
Right.
Really?
Years, how many years? I don't know.
Hundreds of years
thousands
ago.
of years ago. I don't know. I'm not very good at geometry, geography.
Well, you know.
Which one is it?
Geography.
Or English.
History. But I can talk good.
I speak 2 languages, English and bad English. Yeah, that's the whole. What do they call it? Where they traded spices.
Slave trade.
Yeah,
Oh,
but there
the
was
West Indies.
There was a name for it. I can't remember now. It just escaped me. Where they would have basically a route.
A route
Silk
to
Road?
Silk Road, yeah,
Silk Road.
It was a Silk Road.
Thank
They
you,
traded
Joe.
everything from, I guess, from people to
Was there
building
silk
materials
traded
and
too?
probably, I don't know.
everything
but,
in the book.
And before we move on, I will let you know that, and this is just a personal opinion, of course. Cuban sandwiches go great with rum.
Oh. I was thinking
Pressed.
something a little more hearty, though, like beans and rice and Cuban
Beans
But-
with sour cream and
Ew.
cheddar cheese on top.
Ooh, that's
Bean soup.
That's
Put a
Cuban,
little
though?
pork in there. Yes, it is.
Oh my
Okay.
God! Wow, see, you
Sounds
learn
Mexican.
something new every
Cuban
day.
beans.
But I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Cuban pork is just the jam. Huh?
It is,
Oh,
man.
isn't it
Oh, it's so
awesome?
good. That's what I
See.
love. There was this
yeah.
little restaurant where I lived in. I worked in Chinatown in New York City, close to Chinatown in the World Trade Center, and it was a few blocks over to Chinatown. And down one canal street, there was this little door. It was just there was a tiny little window. And it's this door that was half hanging off the hinges, and it looked like it was abandoned. And when you open that door, this is a Cuban restaurant, and it had been there for like 80 years, and it was maybe as wide as this studio. This is about maybe 15 feet, and it went like 60, 70 feet back, and along the one wall was just little 2 top tables. Table for 2, a table for 3.
Right.
You couldn't fit anyone on the other wall, and way down at the end was the kitchen area, and they served the best Cuban food I ever had. No sign anywhere. No, you wouldn't even know.
It was probably full all the time, huh?
Jammed.
You got to get in there
Just
before
jam-packed.
time
You
for it
work your
sells
way
out.
up to. I've never, and I worked up there for probably 6 years. Never once was able to sit. So I'd go in, I'd get my Cuban sandwich or whatever I was getting, and you have to kind of like worm your way out. And there were no signs anywhere, not even official signs like, this building
Nope.
can handle 60 people or
You had to
anything
know.
from the health department. It
If
was
you
just
got-
like, it's like someone rented a hallway out
Right.
and just put a door in front of it or an alley.
Right.
But anyway, it'll be good to see what you get prepared for everyone over there.
I'd probably get a Cuban to help me. There's a couple
Yeah.
ladies in town that.
Beautiful.
And don't forget, you cannot buy Panamonte or Panama Red in the States.
That's right.
So this is a treat. It's not something you can
You
go
re-
back home.
Christmas
if
is
you-
coming up. Maybe you
And
buy
Christmas
a bottle, take it back to your loved ones.
Is coming
And
up.
I think you can. Wasn't Jim just saying you can take up to 2 bottles? Well, anyway, you
I don't
better
know.
check with customs. 'Cause I
Double
don't know
check
about
that. Yeah, customs.
You
is-
wouldn't want to lose that bottle.
No.
Just the bottle itself is worth like $70 or something.
Wow.
It's every part of that bottle is made somewhere special. Like the glass was blown in Italy, and the wooden knob comes from French wood, handcrafted. I mean, I probably am mixing some things up, but just so you get an idea, like that bottle alone is very, very special.
Well, if you want to hear about that in all sorts of interesting stuff. This is November 18th at 5 p.m. with the tap room, $15-20 to get in, but you get a $30 shot plus
Awesome.
food. You can't beat it.
Don't want to miss it.
Now I understand that before that, on the weekend of November 6th and 7th at Mesa Azul, there's going to be somewhat of a fashion show.
A fashion show?
A fashion show.
Yeah, you can't expect me to put this in chronological order.
Well, no, that what
But,
takes the fun out of everything.
The
Man.
weekend of November 6th and 7th at Mesa Azul, we're going to have a completely different type of. It's not a model. It's not a modeling clothes. It's not a fashion show. It's something different. And
It's a
we're gonna
surprise.
We're going to have models. We've been threatening to have people like me come in wearing a shawl or something and a G-string.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
No, we want people to go though. So
We want, no banana hammocks to anyone over 40.
This is after everybody's had enough of Panama. But anyway, they're going to be wearing new designer clothes. And a lot of this is not formalized. This is finalized as of yet, but we're going to have Chris fill in some of the blanks. on this one.
I'm looking at Chris is going to be filling in a lot of blanks today. So,
So
do you have any more information on the not fashion show? Fashion show.
there's going to be some beautiful clothes, some beautiful models, some beautiful food and fun. There's a few people that have been in this field their a lot of their lives.
Yeah.
That will be organizing the event. The food is going to hit all the points. We'll have a vegan, gluten-free chicken, beef option.
Wow.
It'll be 3 or 4 choices. Pick ahead of time so we can get it out to you. But this is going to be a really cool event. Something different, It's always seems like there's a lot of the sort of same activities happening, just different places,
Sure, yeah.
But it's great that those things are happening.
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
it's good to get
But
out
a
of
little variety
the
is
living
nice,
room,
too, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
After being at home for a year.
Well, he said 5 minutes
Right.
or nothing. He didn't, he didn't fill in any blanks. Come on,
Well, he did
Chris.
fill in that one blank.
So there'll be food and
The
fashion
food,
and
the
fun.
food, fashion, fun, and
And Joe will not be a model,
No,
but he will be a water boy,
Oh,
right?
Oh,
I'll be the water boy. No problem.
picture that.
chief, was it chief bottle washer or something like that? Yeah,
That's me.
Well, that's
He's always
cool.
threatened to help, so I'm gonna accept the offer this time.
Threatened to help. Be careful what you ask for, right? Okay, well, I understand here from my convenient outline that we want to talk about the Christmas party
Most
coming up.
helpful.
Next.
Yes, and I understand that it's the 11th annual Christmas party, and I know that somewhere as we discuss this, Chris will be available to fill in some of the blanks.
Yeah, maybe. This will be I think our 11th. We've been collecting Christmas gifts. We started this at our house, and people would come over, bring a covered dish and a wrapped Christmas gift. And I found out why it's so important that they bring a wrapped Christmas gift, because when they bring 120 gifts and you have to wrap them, it takes a fleet of people to do that.
Wow.
So that's why we now ask to wrap the gifts, and right on the bottom, a B for boy and a G for girl, and about what age baby or 5, 10. So we can give this to the right kid. We don't want to give a 13-year-old boy a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
But a lot of this is still in the works, and we've collected, probably well over 1,000 gifts.
Wow.
Already?
Oh.
Good Lord.
No.
in the past.
Over our
11 years.
In the
Oh,
past.
because
I was gonna say.
it's always been over 100 gifts, 100, 125, 150. So we've been, and again, we don't pass these out because we don't know who the needy kids are.
Sure.
There's a guy in Central Park.
Mhm.
It's a restaurant, and I should have had his name. We give all the gifts to him, and he passes them out. And he's been doing this. He's been giving out his own gifts for many years, and we found out about him, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use him again.
Well, as details come in, I'm sure by the next ACCB Friday, we'll have more information on that. And if Chris has a detail he wants to throw in there,
There'll be
otherwise,
food involved.
There will be food involved. There will be food involved. That's one of the great things about living here. That no matter
Wonderful
what
thing.
event you go to, there's food involved,
There's
and most
food
of the
involved.
time it comes from Chris. So that works out good.
There's a
Sweet.
ton of great options in Boquete. A lot of great food in Boquete.
Yeah.
We
There
are
sure
lucky
is.
to have
We're
so
got
many
some-
great places to eat.
I got some startling news.
Startling.
Startling?
I don't know, terrible or makes you anxious. Christmas Eve is 2 months away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's going on Christmas
60
and New
days
Year's?
and we're going to be again at the police department driveway, and we've been doing this, I don't know how long now, several years. We've been taking my grill, the police come over with their pickup truck, throw my grill in the back, and we go to the driveway of the police station, and we invite the police, fire, EMTs, and their family now to have a grilled hot dogs with all the trimmings and a drink. And this is such a great thing that a couple of years ago, there was a young guy in a different uniform looked, and he was customs.
Oh,
I said, "We have customs in Boquete," and he speaks English. He says, "Of course we do." So
today.
yeah. So we might be able to see him again, for a free hot dog or two.
Yeah.
But we've been doing this, and it's just a thank you to all the police officers and firefighters and EMTs that they're away from their family on these important holidays and
Sure.
away from
Yeah.
home, only to serve us. And so since I guess I think we were prohibited from doing this last year for COVID.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be fit and ready, and we go through some chow there.
I bet.
And the only problem we have is everybody's fighting to flip hot dogs on the grill. All of our members want to, and it's a good time then to see a motorcycle cop when you're not sitting down holding your driver's license in your hand. That would be, a great time to say. And
What a
actually-
relief.
And
What a
not
relief,
shake,
right?
not shake or be mad. I mean,
No.
what a great time.
Yeah. Well, it's just another way to show appreciation.
For the great people who protect us.
The police everywhere. I mean, I don't care what country you're in. They get a hard time
They do.
a lot, and I don't think a lot of people realize, what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're in a big city or you're in a small town or you're here in Panama, the States, Germany, whatever. It's
Right.
just it's in a lot of ways it's a thankless job,
It is.
and these little. And by little, I do not mean insignificant. Attempts that we make to show our appreciation it's a nice thing to do. It's just a nice thing to do, And I think we need more people doing nice things,
Nice things, don't
right? Yeah, there's
Amen.
there's no.
That's right.
So it's interesting. I'm looking at this little outline here. This is funny because it says. Tribute to the world famous band the Eagles. Date not set yet, but this is something we just got to do, and that cracks me up.
Well, I just think we got to do because we were at Hotel Del Rio. I don't know, about 8 years ago, and they had it wasn't by an organization; it was by the hotel, so we can copy it. It was a tribute to the Eagles. And then Lynn and I went there, and I didn't know who the hell the Eagles were. Can I say hell?
Sure,
Oh,
you just did.
I didn't know who the Eagles were. So I'm sitting there, and I said, "Oh, they sang that. Oh, they sang that
They
song."
did that. Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of songs that we
Oh,
all,
yeah.
us,
grew up listening
Grew up.
to, and yeah.
The
Yeah,
Beatles,
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
Eagles.
and that's why we just got to do it. I mean,
Sure.
and I don't know where, but it will happen sometime in January.
That'd be nice.
So get your Eagles T-shirt and Eagles
Memorabilia.
concert. Yeah,
Oh.
your concert in Rio de Janeiro.
Because now
Your caps.
you want to go see the Eagles now, you're looking at $300 a ticket. And T-shirts are selling for... Someone I knew went a couple of years ago, went to see them in the States somewhere, and it was $280 per ticket. And the
Love
T-shirts they were selling out front that you used to buy for $15, they're like $150.
100.
So
Yeah.
this will be a little less expensive. Perhaps maybe a free concert in the square. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure I'll hear about that. I'm pretty well plugged into the music scene here. So
Well, free's difficult because we're going to need a band, and the bands don't play for free.
well,
And Chris don't give away free food either.
no, I
So
know
there
that.
we
But
go.
Chris will tell you though. The bands that I was in, we played several benefits.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did why don't you guys get
benefit us?
equilibrium back together?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting story right there. I'm really happy though that Dario and Adi are back. It was me and Dario and Adi in that band Equilibrio. We played at Big Daddy's for 10 months every Friday night.
Yeah.
But Dario had to go out of the country for a while and for work. But they're back, by the
They're
way,
back, yeah.
and they're playing here and there. But
I think tonight they're at Segundo Frente.
might be, I think. Yeah, they're great. Adi Velasquez, she's like the nightingale of Boquete. Her voice is, it's just incredible. We would be at Big Daddy's and it'd be packed. I mean, it just packed, and everyone's talking, and there's a lot of din, a lot of loud noise and everything, and then she starts singing like a Frank Sinatra song, and it was like the old E.F. Hutton commercial. Everyone would just shut up and turn towards her,
Face.
and it would just. Anyway,
Awesome.
I can't say enough about her. And of course, her brothers are
The whole family's talented.
very, very accomplished. They play over at the brewery under hashtag. But anyway, it'd be good to see that though. I'd like to see I love the Eagles,
I
so
love
I
the
think
Eagles.
that'd be great. Poker
My
run,
time.
poker run,
Poker run.
poker
What's
run.
that?
I've been on a lot of poker runs. I've rode motorcycles for years.
Well, they had a lot of poker runs were motorcycles, and it was really a contest of time.
Well, yeah.
It was timed. Our poker runs aren't timed. We've got hours to hit like 7 different restaurants.
It's like a Monopoly run.
Yeah, it's and you don't have to take them in order. I think the motorcycles. Did you have
Yeah,
to do that?
yeah.
in
There
order?
was a circuit. Yeah,
Oh.
everybody knew this is the first stop, second stop. Of course, when you got 50, 60, 100, 200 motorcycles, you kind of got to keep it well,
Kinda
Pace.
keep it well planned. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, the idea is that we would have a stop at, let's say, Big Daddy's, and we would have a table there, and Big Daddy's would offer some small, reasonable, special little hand food or a simple little dessert, and just to have people that if there is anybody that hasn't been to Big Daddy's, they must have just got here yesterday. But
This morning.
Yeah, they could try, every restaurant's favorite thing.
My favorite thing at Big Daddy's is the chicken tenders with that dill.
Dill
oh
sauce.
God, I love that. Every time I go there, it's
I'm really big on hamburgers.
The sauce
and,
makes it.
Don't say you can't screw up a hamburger because, Big Daddy's got great hamburgers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just.
Have you tried the Big Burger yet, Joe?
No, I'm afraid to because Linda will get mad at me. But I think I could eat it.
What is the Big
You
Burger?
think you could? It's called the Meto Reto. Reto is challenge in Spanish, and Meto is like the
Is that giant?
the word
Yeah.
that
that like
Chiricanos use.
10-inch tall.
$25.
Yeah, it's got like 5 patties and 2 fried chicken breasts and 12 onion rings and chili and cheese
Does it come with a
sauce.
prescription?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of that.
It's always the small little skinny guys. That
I
finish
know,
it,
right?
Yeah,
I saw a guy, a hot dog eating contest on Coney Island. This is probably 40 years ago. And there was this big, beefy guys there. You'd expect, just like 6'5", like a door with the head on it. And there's this like 110-pound guy ate like 90 hot dogs in like 4 minutes. I'm like,
It's always that way.
how do you do that? Where do you put hollow legs, right? Got to be hollow legs. All right, well, that'll be. We'll look forward to that too. Poker runs are always fun, whether they're on motorcycles or not. It's just
Well-
a good way to get the community, around town.
I want to explain it if anybody, because when we started this, I didn't know what a poker run was. But we have like 7 different places that people can stop and not in any order. And it's not a race, and you can just go and to, let's say, if we had one of the stops at Big Daddy's, we'd have a table there, and you draw one card. We have, let me see, would we have one deck? We might have several decks, and you draw a card, and we write it down, and you write it down on your official entry blank, and you play poker with it. Yeah, I think we use several decks, so you could have, a whole bunch of. You could have a whole bunch of.
And showing Joe a picture. Linda has sent me a picture of them all on the bus.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. Yeah, pass that over.
gracias.
And then if you look at the picture below it, there's all the bags that they're filling.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
a lot of bags.
And that's neat. I'm gonna post that when I
Yeah.
do the promo. I'm gonna throw that in there. I might throw those in the
Terrific.
video.
Wow.
But yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I mean,
It is.
grab my phone back there. Yeah, we got enough time left to talk about bingo and trivia. So why don't we talk about bingo and trivia for a few minutes? Tell us about bingo and trivia.
We've been doing bingo and trivia for I don't know how long now. How long?
60
somebody
years,
could
70
guess.
years, Been a
Long
while.
time.
Long
Four
time.
years, long time.
long time.
Anyway, of course, ACCB is all volunteers. Nobody makes any money, but we collect probably, let me see, maybe $800 a month in bingo and trivia, and
Nice.
it all goes to, to the poor. And this is, we've been doing this at La Posada for a long time. You can get all the info from all these events that we've told, and all the info we didn't give you about the food. You can get that all on ACCB Facebook page.
Now the bingo and trivia are on alternating Tuesdays.
Yes. Let me see. The last Tuesday was trivia. Next Tuesday will be bingo.
Bingo and all the information, meaning the buy-in and the prizes and all that.
Right.
You can find that.
Yeah,
all in there.
we give away. I'm not prepared for this. We give away $180. Is that right? Yeah, I think we give away
something like that.
$180
Right.
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
in
Close
bingo,
anyway.
and we always have a 50-50, and depending on the crowd, of course.
And how about the time? The time's been changed
Yes, it was moved to
to 1 hour earlier.
it's like 5:30 now or 4:30.
It's now 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
No, it ain't 4 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Okay. It was
5 o'clock. Is it 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock for the dinner and 5 o'clock to start.
For
the bingo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
we
4
asked-
o'clock dinner makes sense, for most of us who are of a certain age.
That's right.
Right.
Definitely.
Got to get the early bird special, man.
Right.
We made the times earlier because a lot of people can't drive at night, and a lot of people don't want to, be out that late. So that's why we,
I think
Well,
it was a great
I-
idea.
yeah, well,
I
Linda
like
was
getting
telling
home
us
earlier.
about that the last time we were on the show. That was the reason why, and I don't like being out late.
After dark.
I mean, 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed. Which is funny because not so long ago, 8, 9 o'clock, I was just getting started.
Right.
Yeah, now I'm like, I think I'm just gonna 9:30. I'm snoring. There you go. All right, let me do a quick rundown here because we got a couple minutes left. Oktoberfest on Saturday the 16th from 1 to 5 o'clock, and that is going to be at the fairgrounds again.
Tap out.
Tap out. Wow, cool. That's right. Now we got a new venue. Schnitzels and other German fare will be there, and as that develops,
And
Chris-
red cabbage.
and red cabbage.
cabbage.
Red
Thanks to
cabbage.
Tamera, red cabbage.
Right.
On November 18th, we have Jim Wasson, the owner and creator of world famous Panama Red and Panamante Rum, is going to be at the Tap Room, which is an apropos venue to talk about rum. He's going to give us a rundown on all things about Panama Red and Panamante and his stuff there.
And the history of rum.
And the history of rum. Yes, and maybe someone will show up dressed as, a pirate.
I've attended that presentation, but it was 2 to 3 years ago, and I'm anxious to be there again.
Yeah, and
It's
15,
very,
20 bucks to get in,
very
but you get a shot of that Panamonte rum, which is worth at least 30 bucks. So there you go, plus some more
Do it.
great food from Chris. The non-fashion show, November 6th and 7th at Mesa Azul. We'll be featuring brand new designer clothes and some food, obviously. And then the Christmas party, December 5th. That's Sunday at Mesa Azul. There's still a lot to be planned on that, and I'm sure we'll find more as time goes by. Then we have the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve hot dog cook-off for the police and fire department.
Police and fire.
Somewhere in January, Eagles concert.
Eagles!
Or Eagles tribute concert.
Tribute concert.
Poker run in January, and then we're going to finish up by reminding everyone, bingo and trivia every other Tuesday. All this information is available on the ACC Boquete Facebook page, and I think we're pretty much we're about done, Bolivar? Oh, look at it. He's like, yes, shut up. You've been listening to BoqueteNOW, talk radio on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM, talking with Joe Hart, Tamera Balkenhol, sorry about that, and of course Chris Young. Thank you very much. We will see you next week. Have a good day.
Good, thank you.